Damn. What the hell happened? Mucho agua. And it's not rainwater, it's the ocean. Looks like Cartagena is literally sinking. Wow. Loco.
To keep it together. Hey girl, I never ever thought we'd be. I never ever thought I'd see. Then I saw your smile. Oh, we can go across the oceans and see the world tonight. Oh, say hello to the mountains and watch the new sunrise. But no matter what the country, the city, the street, by land or by sea, together forever is my favorite place to be.
And we got the guys up on the bow, working on the doors. As we can see, things have not really improved. The chaos has gotten more. And, oh well, what can you do? Nasty. Yeah, we have a big cleanup ahead. Big cleanup, for sure. Ouch.
On the ground, the fiberglass guys at the marina were getting ready to test fit one half of our bimini top. It's going to be a very big top, so they're building it in two halves and then glass it all together. And just before they make the second half, they want to make sure everything is lining up with their adjustment points to make sure that all the curves are exactly where I wanted them to be. But before we could load it on top of the existing structure, we had to remove some of the existing stainless work, namely my old radar swing that I had built 20 years ago. It served its purpose well, but now we're building a hardtop which is going to give us numerous different mounting options for all of our gear.
Wow, magical.
Next to remove was the old wind generator pole. I'd already made the decision to take the wind generator off the boat because it simply wasn't giving us enough power to justify the weight and the shadows it was creating over our solar panels. I've had a wind generator for over 30 years and really like them, but when it gets down to it, I want as much power per square foot as I can get. And the new hardtop being unencumbered by the wind generator pole gives us quite a bit more surface area for solar panels that will ultimately perform much better without the shadow of the wind generator pole disabling them every single day. With that cleared out of the way, it was time to bring on the first panel.
Today begins the annual service on our Suzuki. So it's been saying that it needs an oil change and something for a while now. So we got a guy here today taking it apart, checking everything, doing a full service tune-up, replacing all seals, total, everything. And it looks like he's just cleaning up our lid over here now. So soon our engine will be in top shape for another year. And everybody here at 8 o'clock ready for work today. And they're getting ready to come in and finish in my room here. So all of this is finished now. We just got everything in storage up on there, got it out of the way because the bathrooms needed to be emptied out. We got everything finished except the doorways here. This door was just finished and put back in as the first one, so it's done. They've got this all sanded down. Just need to sand this center section and that's the last. This is already sanded, this is sanded, and just over to here I think. So once this is sanded, they'll paint that today or varnish, and then that part is all done. So we can close up this cabin and just wait for the last doors to finish and put it back together. Yeah, one of the guys was just showing me they're doing an experiment with some of the old wood here, because this is fake wood, it's melamine, and it started to bleach out from the sun. So I had put varnish over it a long time ago just to get rid of the white bleach look, and it was okay, but it didn't look really good. But they just sanded this whole section down to the fake wood and put varnish on it, and it looks real. They're just doing a test to see what it would look like, so we knew if we had to re-laminate it with real wood or not, but that looks so real, I don't think it would make any difference. Muy bien, very good job. So you can see it's very bad over here also, and this is our main entrance, so this is what everybody sees first when they come in. And right now, of course, as you can see, it looks terrible, but that could make a huge difference. Nice.
The past few days have showed me that we've had a rapidly increasing problem. Cockroaches. Something nobody wants to hear about, let alone see. And I know if Madalena sees this, we're gonna have a big problem. So needless to say, we had to stop all work on the boat while we called in some exterminators to help eliminate the problem. So me, I was forced to make a run for it, as obviously I couldn't stay on the boat with all those chemicals around. The exterminator said we needed at least a couple of days, so the marina put my dinghy back in the water so I could go into town, and ended up finding a nice little room at a hotel where I could stay until the job was finished.
So, just found myself a little room at the same place JP was in last time he was here. It's got a little desk, looks like a comfy bed, air conditioning, good sized TV, important, and a mirror, and bathroom and shower. Oh, perfect. So it gives me a little place to hide out while they're fumigating and do a little work. Well, they got everything all taken out and put away and stowed. kind of looks like we're moving out. And everything is stripped down, now it'll be sanded and cleaned and painted, or varnished rather, and looking like new. So what I'm thinking now for this wall is we need to take this mirror off, obviously, because we're going to refinish. And it's not so crucial to finish here because we're going to cover the whole thing, I think, because we got all these holes in this wood from previous owner that had a TV and stuff put in there. So I think what's best, take this mirror off even if it breaks, but then we put one piece of acrylic that goes all the way here over to there and down all the way to the bottom, all the way across to here and back up again. And then these holes here will be covered, but I can actually take, because it'll be acrylic mirror, I can cut all the gauges into the actual mirror, so they would be like in the edge of the mirror right over here. So that could be kind of cool, just have a whole strip of gauges and instruments and everything there. And it would get rid of all the holes and everything. We'd have one big mirror and another logo probably in the middle again. It looks like they're making some progress on the hard tops. Getting the new edging here, they're putting 1 inch on top. There's going to be another 1/2 inch on the bottom. Just glassing it all in on top here now. You can see it goes all the way around. That's going to be for rain collection and for a handhold. You can grab onto it like a rail when you're walking around on deck. It's going to be good for security and catching rain all at the same time. Looking good. This will be the first one for the Dodger. And it looks like it should be ready in about another 1 or 2 days from the looks of it. And today we got the guys here servicing the air conditioner because it pretty much all but stopped working. As you can see why. It's absolutely full of sawdust. So he's going to clean the whole thing out and the blowers and everything. He's got a little tent built around it. Going to spray it with a pressure washer. And supposedly all the water is going to come straight down into the tube, into the bucket. Cool. Here's the inside, and after I took it apart last year and corrosion proofed everything, there's still a little bit of rust at the base. That side looks good. And so far not so bad, just over a key a little bit. So I have to give that a touch up in the next little while, but not too bad. So today we're working on through hulls with our amigo Ubaldo and Martin. We just removed the old ones. You can see they are rough. But they've been there for a lot of years. Mucho años. 20 años? 30 years? That's out of this bathroom here. So we're working here in the crew quarter today. Got all the through holes out. And they're just grinding out the holes for the new through holes here. And we're gonna fiberglass over this one because we don't need this one anymore. So we're gonna glass it over and not have one extra hole in the boat that we don't need. And back of the Lisas, we need a lot of sealant. And luckily, they have a lot of sealant. So we're putting in all new ports and windows and through hulls, so we're going to need a lot of permanent 5200. So probably everything they've got here. And luckily they have this one part left that I need, which is a 1.5 inch bronze scoop. So this is for the engine intake here, and this is what protects it from anything getting sucked in to the engine intake and blocking the engine. So muy importante, very important. We got all the new stuff laid out. This is our new one for the engine. Very substantial. Very substantial. totally 1.5 inch all throughout. But all of the plumbing fittings for the bathrooms are all going to be these guys here. So we got lots of them to go. Just getting started. And we got the guys here working today, stripping more of the wood. This is all sanded here. Now we got to get rid of this mirror. And Martine's been looking after that, breaking it out one piece at a time. Luckily we had some safety glasses because it's a messy job. And at the same time we've got our other friend here putting in a new panel. We're getting rid of the hole and putting in full fiberglass instead of a wood template. So it'll be all fiberglass, just like stock, all gel coated to match, painted at the same time as the rest of the transom, which is almost ready. So we are getting there one step at a time, but by the end of the week, this should look completely different. And this is from the outside of the boat. See, they've got one through hole already put in and sealed, and the other hole ready for the next one. You can see we've got a good amount of thick fiberglass there on this boat. She's solid. Solid fiberglass through and through. No coring. Just the way I like it. A lot of the boats made these days are a lot thinner than that and have a coring in them to make them a lot lighter. It's supposedly stronger, but they always have issues with the coring. Not sophisticated lady. And putting in the second one now. So he's holding that tight on the outside while Ubaldo tightens it from inside with that great big wrench you saw earlier.
Kelly!
That sealant is 3M5200, it's permanent. So it takes about 4 days to cure, and then it never comes off, which is exactly what you want on a through hull.
Agárrala!
Yeah, so it's Wednesday today. Finally getting things back in action. We had 2 days of downtime after a 3-day weekend because, well, everybody likes to party on a national holiday, so that's a bit of a problem because everybody parties so much and then they can't come to work for 2 days after the holiday. So that gave us another little bit of a setback. And of course, last week we lost 3 days to the cockroach problem. So of my 10 working days in Cartagena, we lost 5 of them so far. Hopefully no more. Anyway, lots happening today. Finally getting stuff back in action. Got 3 more days to see what we can accomplish in that amount of time and go from there. Now I'm just on my way over to see what's going on with our hardtop. And here's our Dodger hardtop. As you can see, it's finally starting to take shape. Actually starting to look like a piece of a boat. That's cool. So this being the Dodger is going to be the smaller one of the two that covers the front. And you can see they've got the rain gutter and handhold installed nicely fared in. It's all nice and round. Very comfortable on the fingers to grab into. It's got a little ground down, and next they're going to start covering it with gel coat and non-skid. From what I understand, the new structure that they're putting under now makes it hard enough and strong enough that we'll be able to walk on top of this entire structure. No problem at all. And the metal structure underneath will support it. And they're putting non-skid on the top, so when we are walking on it, we don't slip and fall or anything like that. Something for our feet to stick to. So that's going to be great. So they're finishing this side up, I think, today. And then they're going to flip the whole thing over and do it on the other side again. So this 1-inch rail here becomes 1.5 inch once they add it on to the bottom on the other side. And then the other side will be just shiny gel coat. So that'll be the roof inside the cockpit. So far, looking good. Starting to look like something that's really going to make a difference on Sophisticated Lady. This one, not so much yet. This is 1/2 of the Bimini one, so the longer one. So this is one side, and they're going to duplicate this to go on the other side here. So it'll be one big piece, and they need to do all the edging and fiberglass work to join them and everything. So this one's still got lots of work to do, but one step at a time. And for now, they're focusing on finishing the Dodger so that we can get it finished and then start making the side windows for that while they finish off the Bimini. So that's where we're at so far. 3 days left. Well, the guys just returned with our steering quadrant. I don't know if you remember this piece. I can put in a piece later. But yeah, this whole piece is brand new. It's very thick and heavy duty. There's the original thickness there. You can see how thick this is. They don't want it to break ever again. So they've already put the hole in for the autopilot mount. All welded in. I mean, that's going to be here long after the boat, that's for sure. And that's the other piece there. They had a broken piece out of one of these as well, so they've replaced and repaired all of that. So it's ready to go. So they're going to be installing the rudder quadrant again soon. And additionally, you can see they finished this fiberglass panel over here. So now we filled all of these old holes and where the old engine control panel was. All solid fiberglass. So that's perfect. And then what we'll do is we got the control panel over here. So there's the Beta Marine control panel. So we'll probably cut out the fiberglass for the control panel next. So we'll have the hole already there situated. Then they can paint it all. And then we put the control panel in afterwards, and it should look like brand new, just like it was there from the factory. So that will be a nice thing to have finished finally. That hole has been there forever. And our next job for us today is to take these windows, because I took out 2 of the ports. You can just see how they reflect in the light now. They are completely crazed inside. This is very old acrylic. Well, it's 30 years old. It's not meant to last forever, but 30 years is a long time. That's all of these windows here. So this one's still in. This is the one that I took out. I just stuffed a pillow in there for the moment, so keep air and rain out. But we got to take these to the acrylic shop now, and they're going to make all these with their laser. So they're going to make 6 in this size and 4 in that size to replace everything that we have. All the ones back through the cabins and into our forward cabins and heads. So they'll all be replaced at the same time using one laser. Cool. And there goes one of our biggest hatches. Totally removed. So now he cleans up all the edges. Fits in the acrylic. And there's just enough of a gap around that allows a good fill of silicone around the outside edge so the window has room to float and move as the boat flexes. So far it looks good. So we're about to have new windows. Be able to see out of them for the first time in many years. And it looks like we finally got our new Cutless bearing. Yeah, they had to machine it down a little bit because it wasn't the exact right size. I think it was 2 millimeters bigger, but it's a bronze sleeve, so it's easy to machine down. And now it fits in there perfect. So that's our new Cutless bearing. And they're going to rebuild around here in fiberglass. And we can put our prop shaft back in. This prop shaft is still sitting here with the propeller on it and the rudder. Everything needs to go back together first because the prop shaft has to go in here first, and then the rudder goes up, because once the rudder's in, the propeller shaft can't come out past the rudder. So all needs to go in order, and it's all been waiting on this piece right here. Now finally we got it. Cool.